Feeling good today, though.
Welcome back to Better Days Rain, Sean. It's nice to see you
Like
in
always.
in such a well lit environment
Yeah,
today.
it's awfully green
Um,
on the green screen.
won't be when people
No,
see
I'm
this, right? But yeah, you should totally leave that in there, and that should be when you actually add the background.
right,
So
right,
they
right.
should see the green and then go boop boop.
Yeah.
It'll probably totally screw with your algorithm and put you down like 50 points behind.
Nah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get serious.
Well, so let's jump into personal connection to
Personal.
service. Personal
Yes.
connection to service. When did you first get involved in service work during your recovery journey?
So, to start it off, like service has probably been the very most important part of my recovery. It was the first thing I latched onto, and it has been the anchor point of my recovery. When people started to extend lots of service towards me, I became very grateful for their service. And I couldn't do much because I was pretty sick when I came into recovery. So I wanted to help. I wanted to help the people that were helping me. So I was doing small things like help cook dinner for the treatment facility, and little small things, do the dishes, you know, clean up the house, things of that nature. And it kind of just drifted on from there. They uh they saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And so at one point, a woman who's like she ran the recovery side of that treatment facility, she came up to me and asked me if I would like to start doing some public speaking at like charity events and fundraisers. And so I started doing that for the facility to help raise money for the facility. And that kind of changed the name of the game for me, to get up and speak in front of a bunch of people, because in my addiction, I really looked at people as, uh, well, let's just say I didn't see people as good people, right? I didn't believe in good people. So when I saw people actually caring and doing good things, it kind of shifted my perspective on service.
So, was there a specific moment or a specific type of service that you realized was super powerful in recovery and helping others?
So there's okay, if you want to talk about a pivotal moment, I was stuck in a position to where I had to look at my life and go, what um what can I do with my life from here? 25 years of addiction. I had failed at pretty much everything in life, father, job, life in general. And you know, and I heard this a few weeks ago, and it brought this back to my memory. I had something. I went through a lot of tough things, right? And felt like God told me, like, I needed you to go through these things, so that way you could develop an understanding of what other people go through. And when I kind of got that realization, I started going back into my life and becoming grateful for hardships, becoming grateful for the struggle, some of the really horrible things that I went through. Um, because I just, you typically don't see those kind of things unless you're in it. The fact that I did go through a lot of those extremes, a lot of those negative things, makes it to where I can be of maximum benefit in what I do today.
So, do you think service work can be as important as therapy?
I think service work is probably the most important part of recovery, hands down.
Why is that?
You get a sense of purpose, right? It's being able to turn my pain into purpose. It's having that sense of contribution, that that sense of belonging. You know, you develop gratitude very quickly through service work. Grateful for life, grateful to be of benefit to other people and to
So,
yourself.
so would you say that service work gives you a sense of purpose or meaning,
Absolutely, absolutely,
and that replaces that addiction, right?
it has. I can almost. anytime I'm feeling out of place or those negative thoughts start swelling up in my head, especially like anger, resentment, things of that nature, I immediately put down what I'm doing and I go do something for somebody else. And I almost always feel better after doing that.
So, can you share a story where, or an example of where serving someone has helped you not relapse or not lose your mind and keep that anger and that patience? Because it seems to be where you were going with that is that doing
Man,
if you're about to lose your temper, you'll go do service work, or if you're about to
correct.
relapse, or do you have a is there any specific story in your journey that
Well, I think the most relevant to today is For Your Garden Studios. You know, there's a lot of times I come in here and it's about getting in front of the microphone and talking recovery, but then there's times where it like kind of stalls out, right? And I start getting frustrated with, you know, the reach and certain aspects of where I want to go with my career. So there's days I come in here and I'm like, bro, we're not doing nothing about me.
or yeah,
Yeah,
where
you know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, we're gonna redo the entire studio again today for
yeah,
the
let's
eighth time
let's
in 2 weeks. Yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and that helps me. You know what I mean? Like that helps me
Y-
feel like I'm a part of something bigger than myself.
When you realize that that helps me too, right?
Yeah, well, it's just it feels good to do something for somebody else.
Well, and to do something with your hands, to be
Yeah,
busy, but it's good, solid, busy work. It
yeah,
really is what service is about. It's helping other people, and we
right.
appreciate you when you come in here and help. Um, I don't necessarily think that we've helped you, not relapse, but
I think you've
I mean, I know we frustrate you
no.
because that's what friends do, right? I mean, come on, we're friends,
I
so we
mean, from time to time, I get a little frustrated, but I've developed a bigger understanding about life than I used to.
and a lot of times we do it just to get you going,
Yeah,
right? Because we see that in each other. We do that. I
yeah,
mean, that's how we
and
roll.
I'm
But
cool, I'm cool with that.
that coming in here and doing the work though, because you've helped other people. You've helped the Mission Music guys. You've helped, Delisa with her podcast stage, and you're learning how to do some of this work on the back end too. So there's a lot of benefit to you personally, but it really helps us because we have you as extra hands. You get to serve us, and we get to in turn better serve the community that we're trying to
Right.
serve, right?
Yeah, you never know how far that ripple in the pond goes when
Yeah.
you drop that rock. You know what I'm saying? So there's some people that pour into me and my wife, and by them doing that, we are able to serve other people in abundance, right? So, and if you carry that mindset with everything you do in life, that my actions, my generosity, my service, if I do it to one person and they do it to one person and they do it to one person, but if you magnify that, if I do it to five and they do it to five, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like you
and so
never
that
know how far those good deeds go.
that's right. And so, in that, what is the most rewarding work that you found? Like how you serve varies almost day to day, but your commitment and your discipline to serving the community is unwavering. We see that. Even when you don't want to do it, you still go do it,
Right.
right? That's kind of how Warrior Garden Studios is. We don't want to do a lot of things, but we do it anyway because it's that discipline. But what's been the most rewarding of that?
So I was in addiction for 25 years, long term heroin addict, long time meth addict. Um, to be able to take 25 years of failure and addiction and use that to help other people has been the biggest blessing of my life. To take that huge L and turn it into an even bigger W. You know, and in saying that, it's it's uh it's awesome when you see people have those aha moments, those God moments, the moments where you really feel like, okay, this person's really grasping it. But I think the moments that get me the most are when I come in contact with people who are still struggling, right? Who can't seem to get it right, who are falling back into that cycle over and over again. And they sit at a table with me and I can see tears well up in their eyes, and they're like, "Bro, thank you for not giving up on me. Thank you for staying and not turning your back when the rest of the world does."
So,
Those are the moments that get me.
yeah, so with that, though, what do you think that service work teaches you in doing it? I know patience is one of those because you and I have discussed this before. It's not easy to be patient with somebody who's destroying themselves over and over. They're caught in that cycle of addiction. But you know from being there that patience is one of the keys to getting out.
It's for me more than patience. It's just understanding, right? It's we think people because they're adults or men that we should be able to take care of ourselves, and ain't all not all of us are at that level. It's just a fact of it. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't at that level. I had to be taught from ground one, at 38 years old, and I'm still learning.
Yeah. So what else do you think it's taught you? I mean, I see things in it, but I'm not going to answer the question for you.
What do you mean?
Like, what else has service work taught you?
Man, service work has taught me to be compassionate. Right. I used to be full of anger. I used to be full of hate. All those, bad emotions. And when I felt those ways, I projected it. Right. Hurt people hurt people. And so today, I carry an unconditional love concept into my coaching, into my interactions with people. And I'm not saying I don't slip. Right. Everybody has their, fall off. You get mad at something and you just kind of lash out a little bit. But I have calmed down my irrational thinking and I don't make decisions out of anger anymore. I like to listen to people's stories to understand them because everything's not so cut and dry
Well,
as people think.
I think you nailed kind of where I was going, which it made you a better listener.
Absolutely.
But the other great thing is it's made you a great speaker because you get the opportunity to teach people and share your testimony or your story and the stories of others that have worked with you. I mean, some of the people you've worked with, it's really made your circle of influence very unique. Like Crystal, for example, very great lady. Was great having her. I can't wait till we get her back in here. But
Working on it.
that's one of those things. I think it really teaches you how to be a people person because you started to care more about people because you care more about yourself. So it's taught you self-love. It's taught you how to be a better speaker, a better listener.
Absolutely.
Those are all great accomplishments. And I think even for me, who's never been in active drug addiction, those are life skills that we should learn early on, but we don't always learn them.
Right.
It takes it.
Right.
Some people don't learn those skills until they're in their 50s and 60s, or even later.
And it's something that takes repetition. It's got to be habit forming. It's got to be a learned skill. So if you're not doing those things, and that is the one thing I think is frustrating for me. Well, not the one thing, but is one thing that is frustrating for me in recovery is to see the benefit that service has been for me, as far as just changing the whole person I am, right, from a very hateful, greedy, selfish, you know, self-deluded person that I used to be, and to be as compassionate as I am today about, loving other people and respecting other people and coming from a place of understanding instead of a place of judgment, like to try to push that on, as hard as you can without pushing too hard, right? And for people in recovery, because people generally just don't understand it until they start getting into it, right?
So really what you're saying is that service work can give hope to someone in recovery. It also gives them something to look forward to.
Right.
And I know a lot of people don't want to work. And when we say service work, sometimes service work is just listening. People don't realize that just listening to people's stories is a work of service. And I think we use the term work and people go, I'm not doing that.
Right. So people look at service and go, I'm not getting paid. I'm not doing it. That's
Yeah.
where the mind immediately goes, oh, you want volunteers? No, not me. right? I look at service in a threefold type um, triangle. You know what I'm saying? First, I have to be of service to myself, right? What does that look like? I have to take care of myself. I have to become self-reliant, self-empowered. I have to find purpose and meaning in my life. Those are all things that I can be of service to myself. And once I'm of service to myself, then I can be of service to others.
So, along that line, though, what other advice would you give to someone who feels insecure about doing service work or they're unsure? Like, what other advice do you have for that?
So when I teach, it's not really advice. I give suggestions and I give insight, right? Um, and so we look at things in a broader perspective. And how are we of service to ourselves every day? All things start with self. So anything I'm gonna project into the world, I gotta first project on myself. You know what I mean? And become mind, body, and spirit. Right? They all have to work in alignment together. So I have to be of service to myself, to others, to God, and that's how I kind of view it. Right? So again, we go back to typically people think of service as free labor.
Yeah.
Right? Um, I look so when I sit down with somebody, I say, okay, how are we serving ourselves today? What are we doing to benefit ourselves today? How am I helping me be a better me today? And then once we start grasping those types of concepts and realizing the broadness of service and how, what areas in life are service to ourselves and to others, then you kind of just mold this bigger understanding.
Well, and that is what strengthens the recovery community,
Correct.
which was going to be one of the questions that I asked you was how do you strengthen the recovery community? But you just nailed it. I mean, that is the right way. You have to love yourself, love your neighbor,
Yeah, absolutely.
and then get to work. And again, I think I want to go back to that phrase service work. What do you think is the most scariest part of service work for new people?
Scariest part service work. For me, it was what are people going to, how are people going to look at me? I've been looked at a certain way for so long, right? And like on paper, my record's horrible, So you develop this mentality that the world's going to reject you, right? Because you've just dealt with that. So I think it's that fear of rejection, that fear of failure, and then once you kind of step into that realm, it shifts to like a fear of success, right? And I guess they kind of run hand in hand, right? I'm scared to fail. I'm scared to succeed. You're just in a world of unknowns, right? And so it really just takes a leap of faith, and just saying, I'm going to go after this no matter what. And I'm going to put it in God's hands. But I'm going to keep doing that next right thing to be of benefit to myself in hopes that it turns into something bigger later.
So as we wrap this up, my question to you is how do you balance your commitments in your personal life, the service work, your family, just life in general? How do you balance out your life and include service work in that balance?
So first, I'll say like I have made it a habit to constantly be checking my anxiety. Like I have to see where I'm at anxiety wise. Um, I got a lot of irons in the fire. I do a lot of things, right? So when something feels out of whack, when I feel out of whack and I can't control my thoughts, I have to really sit down and look at some things and go, okay, what's throwing me off? Like algebra. You know what I'm saying? Algebra threw me way off balance. And it started eating up a lot of my time. So, and time that I didn't really have. Because I need to be doing other things as well. So I had to slow that down, and yeah, I was in college. I had to drop algebra. It was a whole, I'm not really too happy about it, but I think it was the right decision overall because I got me a personal tutor who can slow that down for me,
Right.
And so that way when I try it again next semester, it's not so overwhelming. Today, my life is all about balance. If I'm not balanced, I'm almost in a not okay state. And when I'm not okay, like I give my wife the car keys. I give her my wallet. I'm like, go. Just she doesn't ask no questions. She knows.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in that mood. Just take the keys, take the wallet. I'm gonna lock the door. You know, like, and I'm gonna stay home today. Like I'm not gonna do nothing. And those are things I have to do.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks again, Shawn.
Yeah. Well, anybody interested in supporting the Better Days Rain mission, you can visit our Printify store. We have a bunch of merchandise up there that you can buy. They make great holiday gifts, decorations. We got bumper stickers. We got mugs. We got T-shirts, hats. We got the works on there.
We'll probably be adding Christmas ornaments in the near future.
Oh, Better Days Rain Christmas ornaments. Check that out. We'll be the star on the top of the tree.
Well, I don't know if we're going to go that far, but we'll at least get you a
come on, man. We could do like the little Better
little
Days
globe
Rain.
hanging on the tree. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see what our options are.
Yeah, and another great way to support our mission, man, is we are trying to reach 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, so that way we can expand our reach to those who are in need. And even if it's not affecting you in your life, I'm sure there's somebody on your page, somebody that you know who is struggling with the disease of addiction, and we want to reach those people and be of maximum service to those people. So if you would, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, it's a free and easy way to support our mission in a very big way. Thank you.